Okay, today I want to take a look at the weather. And basically my question is, have the wheels come off at this point? Like there has been a lot of extreme weather this year and previous years leading up to this. But basically the question is, are things going to keep getting weirder and more extreme? Have the wheels come off of our weather systems at this point, or is this just some shit? You know, is it just basically nothing? Sugar Bear 12 was the random word and the number. And the root card is a reversed Eight of Pentacles. And this is like not having the time or the space to be able to get your shit done. Okay. And a King of Swords. So, the King of Swords is the commander, the leader, the one that gives the orders. And with the King of Swords on top of the reversed Eight of Pentacles, I mean, it would basically show that the leader or commander of the weather, maybe that's Thor or Zeus, but the commander, it's like their workshop is gone. Now, let's see if we can find out more about this King of Swords. Let's find out about this weather commander, shall we? Is this, is it Harp? Oh, fuck, there's the moon. Okay. Well, going back to all of the previous readings, we have the moon showing up. One of the things I was going to ask if this, I think it's called HARP, that thing, you know, the weather manipulation thing. Basically, if a lot of the extreme weather was coming from that. Now, extreme weather has always been on Earth, from what we can tell, right? From stories and history, there have always been the blizzards and the thunderstorms. In my life, it seems like the weather is getting weirder and more extreme than it was when I was younger, especially the last few years. So one of the questions that I was going to ask is basically, are the weather patterns being manipulated, right? Geoengineering and all of this stuff, which definitely goes on, but how big of an effect does it have? Now here, this does show a personification of the weather commander. What leads up to it? The fucking moon. So we've got, right now I'm just going to take that as manipulation. I'm not going into aliens at this point. We might get there, but let's just see. So we've got the moon, the manipulation, and the king. Here, there's something wrong with his workshop. This actually lines up with some dreams that I've had. And in those dreams, it was Thor that was supposed to regulate the weather. But Thor was a computer, and the computer was malfunctioning. And this looks something like that. Now, from here, then we have the Four of Pentacles, and we have, like, not wanting to let something go in order to move forward. It's like the energy is trying to linger as long as it can before it goes through the portal. Okay, so this would say that the commander, I mean, whatever it is that they have to do to deal with this, they're kind of trying not to. All right, I'm going to have to pull another card on this King of Swords because it does kind of imply that there is one specific thing that is kind of a weather controller. So let's just find out what is that? Is it the Earth? Is it something other than the Earth? You know? Seven of Swords. Okay, so the Seven of Swords, we've got the Jester, and this is like something that is forced to do a trick. I mean, all I can really pick up out of this almost looks like the King of Swords, whatever the commander is, doesn't really want that job, that they kind of have to do it. They're forced into it. What else can we pick up out of this? Oops. There's something about the mouth. So you can see in the card, you know, he's got his mouth open and the sword is dangling over him. I don't know, there's something about the mouth being open. Actually, it's a symbol. So this is, I'm going to have to look to all of you for help on this. But the specific symbol I'm seeing is this line that goes down and the arc of the lips. So it's a pretty basic symbol. It's an arc in a line or an arc in a point. But if you happen to know if that's a symbol for like some shit that would make sense in this context, feel free to let me know. Okay, now the real question is, has it gone off the rails? You know, is in the dream that I had, this is the card that says that, and reversed Nine of Cups is like confusion. So it's very confused. There's a lot of shit that's moving around, maybe that isn't normally moving around. So this is more like a confused weather pattern or whatever, um, than it is something that that is lost, that is completely fucked, and there's nothing that can be done about it. So I wouldn't consider this, you know, a doomsday sentence or anything. Now, I was going to talk about the dream again. Right. In the dream, there was basically a protector, the protector of Earth, and it was a computer, and that computer was Thor. And Thor was supposed to protect us from the Unmaker, which was a serpent that went through the sky. It was like a dragon, but it was made of like shadow, and it was really weird. But it was huge too. And Thor was supposed to protect us from this thing. And this thing showed up, but Thor was malfunctioning. Thor was a computer. Uh, and there was something wrong with the computer. And in the dream, I had to, you know, try to go somewhere to fix it, to like throw a lever or get a magnet or some shit, which I never ended up doing. I woke up before that. But this does kind of show that there is a thing, right, that sort of controls the weather systems. Now, because of we got this card that's coming out as I'm thinking about it, but my question is it related to all of the things that we've looked at in these readings when it comes to aliens? And a reversed two, to me, would say no, because the Two of Wands, this is using two different things together to create, you know, a new thing. This thing upside down, it's like the inability to work these two things together. That might imply that, like, maybe they've tried, but have not succeeded. Or maybe it's more of a deal where there's a thing in Earth that is supposed to protect us and protect us from this sort of thing, and maybe it's just fucking up. But I don't think the King of Swords in this case is the alien manipulation that has been showing in the moon for a long time. Okay, so is it going to get worse? Right? Is it going to continue to cause massive floods and droughts and like all of this stuff? Again, we get a reverse card. Now I have to check and see if I'm holding them all upside down. I am not. So that again is reversed. So we get a reverse Three of Pentacles. And this is the lack of teamwork. Will it get worse? It looks like it probably will. And here, I mean, if you look at the weather systems, maybe this is the weather systems sort of complementing each other and working together. And this is when they no longer work together. And I'm not a meteorologist, right? So I don't really know that much about the weather systems. The cards are showing a certain amount of confusion there, and how they don't necessarily work together. Whatever it was that kept them in line before, if the weather systems were on the Enterprise, the King of Swords, this is Jean-Luc Picard. So it's like Jean-Luc doesn't have the Enterprise anymore. He doesn't have the space in which to order his crew around. Okay. And is it natural? The commander, I think probably so. Although let's just look at that one more time, because we kind of determined that it is probably not alien, but is it natural just straight up from the Earth? And we get the world, and I would take that as a yes, that it is sort of the Earth itself. Okay. Here's a question. This King of Swords. Now, if the King of Swords is a natural side effect of the Earth, a spirit of the Earth, maybe you could say, can we commune with this specific spirit of the Earth? I'm going to do this again. That was maybe a little too quick. Can we commune with this King of Swords, the chief spirit of the Earth, the weather guy, and a Ten of Swords? This is not a no to me, but this is like, it might suck. You could probably do it, but I maybe wouldn't recommend it. It would probably hurt. That would make sense if they speak lightning, right? You might not want to have a conversation with them because they would lighten your face. Okay. So where do we go from here? Now, I'm just going to ask as sort of a cap on this thing. Is there anything that we can do to, like a ship in a rough ocean, right? The ship is trying not to fucking sink. So is there anything that we can do as our environment starts to get more chaotic and weirder? Is there anything that we can do to just sort of be safe or continue to make sure that we are continuing on our path, whatever that is? The fucking Hierophant. Weird. Traditional structure. Well, the Hierophant is also a teacher, right? And I tend to go to this traditional structure thing all the time when I look at the Hierophant. And in this case, because I think all the traditional structures are fucked, I'm going to lean toward this being a teacher. So the Hierophant would be a respected teacher, though. Now, I'm just going to pull one more card on it because, like, a teacher of what, you know? The Hierophant is probably a spiritual teacher, but let's just see. And the Four of Swords shows up. This is like meditation. Here the person is literally buried in the earth, but mental separation. So probably mindfulness, restfulness, like that sort of teaching. And maybe even learning about the soil or how to plant things like bodies. I don't mean that. So to plant things in the earth. Okay, that's what we get. Find a teacher. Find a teacher that teaches something that you would find helpful, especially if that thing gives you mental separation and peace. That'd be pretty good as the world gets fucking weird. So that's what we have. I would love to hear what you think about any of this stuff. And if you do have any ideas also on this symbol, just the straight line down and that arc, like what the fuck is going on there? If you have any ideas, let me know. Peace.